Hello, this is Lisa for Holding the Space, and we are here today with Shirley from Kirkcaldy Galleries. How are you, Shirley?
Oh, fine, thank you, very well.
Yeah, thank you very much for letting me come along to speak to you this evening. I must admit I'm a bit of a stalker of the galleries because I do use the research room a lot, and I do use the cafe space certainly downstairs and the library.
Oh, very good. I'm glad to hear it. Make full use of the facilities.
Yeah, definitely. And the library services have definitely evolved. You know, the change in the building from when you first received it.
Yeah.
How long have you yourself been part of library services?
Since 1987.
Wow.
So 32 years.
Wow.
I've worked here.
Yeah.
In every department within the building.
Yeah. So you would have seen a lot of changes in that time.
Oh,
even
yes.
Physically.
Oh yes. I mean, there were no computers when I started.
Yeah.
We didn't have any computers at all, and then when we did, they were very basic. So things have moved on quite a lot.
Because you could literally go down to the library yourself as a user and tap in what you're looking for, and it comes up. And I don't know if you've ever seen it online, but on Facebook the other week there was a meme, and it was prehistoric Googling, and it was people with the reference cards. Yeah. So
it's not as labour intensive as it used to be, certainly. And the public's always been able to source their own books and look up the records. But now, as you say, they can do it with tapping a keyboard instead of looking through drawers upon drawers of little cards.
And what resources do you have to offer in the library? Because I know you've got the lending library, you've got the exhibition space.
Yeah, well, we're an integrated facility now. We have been for the past 6 years. We used to be two separate facilities. The library and the museum and galleries are separate, and we're all one now. We all work in every department, which gives the entire staff here an overall knowledge of everything that's in the building, whether it be the art collections or helping out with the books, reference services, etc. So we've got our gallery, we have our permanent exhibitions downstairs in the Moments and Times room, we have an activity room that groups can book out by the hour to use for anything they might want to use it for. So that's very popular. We run book bug sessions for the children. We have book groups and reading groups. Some are just a coffee chat, some are more in-depth book discussions. We also have a children's reading group, Chartered Books, which is on. We have the lending services. You can reserve books from anywhere. It doesn't even have to be within Fife. You can use the interlibrary loan service through us as well, and of course the children's services. We have a good teen collection as well for our young adult readers, which is very popular.
And I know myself, as part of the community, I'm part of Fife Rights, and we've booked the workshop, the activities room on a number of occasions, and it's been absolutely brilliant. Because
it's a lovely space.
It's a lovely space. It's big enough, but it's just big enough. And then of course you've got the cafe, you've got the parking, and you've got the train station right at the back of you.
Yeah, it's the ideal spot, and it's well equipped with any IT needs. We can provide, laptops and projector screens and things like that as well. And it's even air conditioned. And in this current climate, that's not a bad thing at all. Now, speaking about family research, we're sitting in the local history room at the moment, which is filled with bookshelves of glass covering all these beautiful books. And so if I was to walk in as a member of the public and say, can you please help me with my family research? Is there anything that you'd advise? Before coming down to the library, it would definitely speak to any relatives. Speak to your oldest relatives. Get as much information as you can from those that are still around that still have the memories. And get it down in a logical order. You really want to start off with neat and tidy records, because you'll be surprised not too far down the line when you start adding on lines and aunties, and it starts to get out of hand very quickly. So you want to get everything that your family holds down, documented, and all in a logical order. You can then have a look at what you have. And I mean, there's loads of family tree maker sites online where you can download a template to put your information in, and you just Google it and choose one, because there's loads out there. Just choose one that suits your style, and get your information into it. Or on pen and paper. You can use an old-fashioned pedigree chart. We can supply you copies of those here. And get down all your information that you already have at home. collect as many birth certificates, marriage certificates that you have hold as a family, and get those all together. Once you've got all that down, you can have a look and see where your first gap is, and then you'll know exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Come in and see us.
Yeah, definitely, and it's an absolutely beautiful space, and you can look at old newspapers from the Fife Free Press and the Fife Advertiser and the Kirkcaldy Guardian, and
Yep. All local papers we have on microfilm. These are all, if you see an article you would like, you can order up a copy, which we can either email to you or give you a photocopy of.
Brilliant.
So quite a lot. It pads out your family tree as well.
Yeah.
You know, sort of if you've got some closer relatives, or not too many generations back, you can look up things like their death notices, marriages, and sometimes, you know, we've had customers finding all sorts of things out from like the papers about their family that they went, because some, you know, families build stories over the years, and it often turns out not to be quite accurate.
I mean, I remember coming in here and doing some book research, and you know, I've never seen so many crashes in the 1930s. You know, under the influence. You know, but it was
the crimes vary over the years.
Yeah, and you're very, very right. I think in that diluted story that gets told, that gets added legs and, you know, arms added to it with genuine affection.
Oh yeah. Well, we did have someone, and we thought they were entitled to a house that had been passed down through the family, and they thought it had been passed out to the wrong person, and they were Jewish here, and this person they wanted to come in because we have old valuation rules here, which can trace tenants and owners of properties through the years. So they'd come in to have a wee look at it. It was a council house, so it's not anybody.
But you've got the records here, so they know.
It was owned by the council, so you know, we were able to refute it. No, it had been passed through the family that, you know, this house had been given, it had been left to someone. Yeah. The dogs had just taken over the rent. That's
it. Well, you know, if you're going to...
There was no massive amounts of money that anybody had made off with.
But if you're going to spin it, you might as well spin it good. So.
Well, and you know, it was probably a peacemaking exercise for the family. Didn't cause any more trouble.
Now, the Kirkcaldy Galleries, you've got a room dedicated to local family research and local studies, if you like.
Family research in here.
Do you have? Is this a reflection of the interest from the local community in the subject?
Yeah, very much so. There's a huge interest in the local community. Everything from people doing, you know, very serious research because they want to produce books or documents of their own. Students who are doing case studies on, say, various, maybe certain industries, or the archaeology of Fife, geography over the years, industrial use, things like that. So we have a lot of students as well, choosing everything up to PhD level. They've done their dissertations based on local subjects, and they often donate those afterwards, which is also really handy. Right through to someone who just wants to know what was in their house before.
Just pure curiosity.
Because we have a good collection of maps, spanning centuries, and also things like business directories, street directories. So they've already mentioned evaluationals, and it's just a huge collection of books on local interest and businesses.
Because I remember when I live in an old flat, and which was built in 1890 in Kirkcaldy, and actually it was coming down here, and you guys were able to tell me who the owners were previously. And one of the most interesting aspects of it was owned by a relatively young woman in the 1930s, and she had 3 male tenants, which in that time was very
quite scandalous.
Definitely. You know, she'd barely got the vote, this girl. You know,
and so she happened to have 3 male tenants.
3 male tenants, one of which wasn't charged as rest as much as others. However, you could debate about what the source of that was. But
there's certainly a great interest in house histories at the moment. It used to be mainly family history, but people are starting to be interested in their properties as well. I think there's been recent television programmes on house histories, and people are also interested in that. And we do have census returns here on microfilm, as well as the old parish records for use with family history. We have an extensive photograph collection as well of Kirkcaldy, not only of streets and buildings, but people as well.
So you could come in here and find a a photograph of a relative.
You
possibly.
may be able to. Yeah, it has happened. It has happened.
Now, what can I ask? You have be contacted by various people. Do you have any particular interest in queries that you've received?
I get so many interesting queries. Most of them are really interesting in their own way. Once you start looking into it, you might have the most mundane query one morning from it could be anywhere in the world, and you like, oh yeah, that's bog standard. But once you look into it, these things can take on arms and legs, and you know, you may just and you do discover local links. Crimes is my favourite. As it's been involved in any sort of scandal. It's really difficult to pinpoint one because every inquiry is its own interesting in its own way the more you dig into it.
So you could come in here any day and not be too sure what you're dealing with, really.
Absolutely no idea.
That must keep things quite exciting.
Oh, it does. You could be dealing with anything on a day-to-day basis, from, as I say, somebody just wanting to know where something is in a map, to somebody discovering that, you know, they've got very important relations a few generations down, or not so important relations.
But they know who their names are.
Lots of people come in looking for marriage records way back in the parishes. I can't find it.
Maybe there isn't.
Maybe there isn't one.
Maybe there isn't one, And I understand that 16th of November there's actually a mining conference at the Adam Smith.
There is. We're really looking forward to that because Fife has such a rich mining heritage.
Absolutely.
We thought it'd be a fantastic idea to have an event where we'll have speakers from all over Scotland coming in to discuss and talk on various subjects from every aspect of mining, from the sort of early days of the sort of family-run pits and the geology of it and things, right up to modern day demise of the mines, etc. I've got speakers coming in to talk about the trade union movement over the years.
Well, that sounds really interesting.
So we've got a wide variety of speakers, and it'll all be on our website, on the On Fife website, when the tickets become available to buy for that.
So if anyone was looking for a wee bit further information on the galleries and the resources here, they'd be able to go to On Fife to have a wee look to see what was all about. Most definitely, and there is a tab on the on-site website as well. You tell us and you can ask us anything. That's fine. To get back to you. Any inquiries at all that we passed on to the correct department within the organisation. Great. And we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Everything from family history inquiries, local inquiries, theatre inquiries, anything. Whatever it is. That's great. Thank you very much, Shirley, for holding the space. Well, thank you for talking to me.